Warriors NRL fanatics, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and this is going to be my NRL Round 18 tips. And yeah, look, it's a full round of footy this week, so no more buys now. And look, it's great to have 8 games of footy on this weekend, which I cannot wait for. The Cowboys versus the Sharks, a top 4 clash. You got the Roosters and the Dragons, both teams trying to fight for that top 8 spot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this coming round of footy. So yeah, let's get into the tips for round 18. So on to the first game now, and that's on Friday the 15th of July. It sees the North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. And this game is being played at Queensland Country Bank Stadium up there in Townsville. And it kicks off at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, so that'll be an 8 p.m. for viewers watching over there in New Zealand. Now, the North Queensland Cowboys, they come into this game sitting in second spot on the ladder. Now, they jumped ahead of the Melbourne Storm because of their defeat to the Cronulla Sharks last week. So they'll be looking to keep that second spot on the ladder, and a win here will keep them ahead of the Melbourne Storm. As for the Cronulla Sharks, well, they sit in 4th spot on the ladder, and they come into this game on the back of a good win over Melbourne last weekend. They'll be looking to keep that gap from 4th all the way down to 5th and 6th with a victory up there in Townsville. Now, the betting prices do have the Cowboys $1.77 here, and the Cronulla Sharks are paying $2.05 at Sportsbet in Australia. Now, in terms of the outs, actually, quickly have a look at the outs. So, the Cowboys got a few being rested due to state of origin. Now, Jeremiah Nanai is also not playing in this one. Jordan McLean, well, he's out due to injury, and Murray Tilling and Valentine Holmes are not playing. But in saying that, the Cowboys have still got a very strong lineup on the field. And look, I think they'll still be very tough to beat at home. Look, as for the Sharks, well, Nicholas Hines, Sophia Talakai and Toby Rudolph are all in. And Britannia Corey is the only out for them. So, I'm going to tip the Cowboys here by 12 points. Now, in terms of an anytime try scorer, I'm going to go with Scott Drinkwater, Hamiso Tebow Fidel, and also I'm going to go with Sione Katoa, Jesse Ramian, and I'm going to go with Matt Moylan, who's been in some great form over the last couple of weeks and who's just re-signed with the Sharks this week. So, Cowboys for me by 12 points. On to the second game now, and that is the Parramatta Eels up against the New Zealand Warriors. Now, I will have a separate video for this game, a preview and predictions and thoughts, so make sure you keep an eye for that video on the channel. Now, moving on now to the Saturday games. There are 3 games on the Saturday, the 16th of July, and it's the first game, the Sydney Roosters taking on the St George Illawarra Dragons. Now, this game has been played at Central Coast Stadium, and it kicks off at 3 p.m. So that'll be a 5 p.m. for viewers in New Zealand. Now, the Sydney Roosters come into this game. They're sitting in 10th spot on the ladder, and the Dragons, they're sitting in 9th spot. So this is a huge game, and it's a very important one for both these sides. One of these teams, you know, a win here could push themselves for a top 8 spot come, you know, round 25. And it's important because, you know, either teams here lose here, I think that's curtains on their top 8 spot. So, look, the betting prices do have the Sydney Roosters here $1.39 favourites, and the Dragons are paying $3, and they're the outsiders there. So, look, this is a very difficult game to call, actually. I found this one of the difficult games to tip this round because, one, you've got the Roosters who, look, surprisingly, sit in 10th spot, which I wasn't expecting at the start of the year. I tipped them as my minor premiers, and boy, I've been very wrong with that prediction. And look, the Dragons, well, despite that loss to the Brisbane Broncos, which I'm sure they'll be disappointed with in their performance because, you know, they only had one player out missing, and that was only Ben Hunt due to Origin. and they took on a team like Brisbane who had a dozen players out, but, they were in good form up until that game. So, who do I trust more? Well, if you're looking at form-wise, the Dragons, because, look, despite that result against Brisbane, they've been in better form than the Sydney Roosters. So, look, but in saying that, I look at this Roosters team, you've got James Tedesco, you've got Daniel Tupou, you've got some very quality players in the side. The only player missing, obviously, is Luke Keary. He's out there, so, look, the Dragons do welcome back Ben Hunt, which is a massive in for them. So, look, in saying that, I am going to tip the Sydney Roosters here, and I'm going to go them by 4, but this is not with hardly any confidence. It will not surprise me if the St George Illawarra Dragons do get up and get the upset. But, look, I'm just going to go with the Roosters to just edge this game by just 4 points. Now, in terms of an anytime try scorer, look, I'm going to go with James Tedesco. I'm going to go with Daniel Tupou. For the Dragons, I will go with Matthew Feagai and Moses Suli. And also, I am going to go with Ben Hunt to score a try for the Dragons. So, Roosters for me to win this game. On to the second game now, and it sees the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles taking on the Newcastle Knights. Now, this game's been played at 4 Pines Park, and it kicks off at 5:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. So that will be a 7:30 for viewers watching the game back in New Zealand. Look, Manly Sea Eagles, well, they come into this game sitting in 8th spot on the ladder. They jumped the Dragons on the standings because they lost the Dragons' head against Brisbane. And the Newcastle Knights, well, they come into this game sitting in 12th spot on the ladder. So, again, another must-win game for both of these teams in order to make the top 8. For the Sea Eagles, they want to stay in the 8. For Newcastle, they want to keep their season alive. So, look, the betting prices do have the Sea Eagles here, $1.37 favourites at Sportsbet. Newcastle Knights paying $3.10. Look, I'm going to go with the Manly Sea Eagles here to win. I think I'll go by 18 points. Now, in terms of an anytime try scorer, I will go with Christian Tuipulotu, Morgan Harper, and I'm going to go with Jason Sub to score. And for the Knights, I'm going to go with Edric Lee, Dane Gagai, and I'm going to go with Dominic Young. So, Sea Eagles to be far too strong for the Knights by just 18 points. On to the final game of Saturday night. Boy, this is going to be an absolute snooze fest game. It's the Gold Coast Titans taking on the Brisbane Broncos at Cbus Super Stadium up here on the Gold Coast. Kicks off at 7:35 p.m. and that is a 9:35 p.m. for viewers in New Zealand. Now, the Gold Coast Titans come into this game 15th on the ladder, and the Brisbane Broncos, they sit in 5th spot. So, at Sportsbet, the Gold Coast Titans are paying $3, and the Broncos are paying $1.39. Now, I'm just going to say it, the Brisbane Broncos will be far too good here. I'll go Brisbane by 20 points. 20 points. It could be 30, it could be 40, but I think the Titans, they might be a little bit competitive in this game, but I just think the Broncos will have a lot more in terms of their performance on the field. So, Brisbane will win this one very comfortably by 20 points. Now, in terms of the anytime try scorers, well, I'll go with Tessie New, Brinko Lee, and I will go with Jordan Pereira. For the Titans, look, as a try scorer here, I'm going to go with Corey Thompson, Patrick Herbert, and I will go with Bo Firmo to score. So, Broncos to be far too good there. Now, moving on to the Sunday games, Sunday the 17th of July. The first one is the West Tigers taking on the Penrith Panthers. West Tigers go into this game sitting in the wooden spoon spot of 16th on the ladder. And the Penrith Panthers, well, they sit in first spot. Now, the betting prices here have the West Tigers, $3.10 outsiders. The Penrith Panthers are paying $1.37. And this game has been played at Combank Stadium in Western Sydney. Now, a quick look into the outs. Now, there's plenty of outs here for Penrith, and they're all been rested because of state of origin there. So, Apisai Coruscant, Brian To'o, Isaiah Yeo, Jerome Luai, Liam Martin, Nathan Cleary, and Stephen Crichton. Boy, that's a lot of outs for Penrith there. As for the Tigers, they've got Jacob Little and Stefano Utukamanu also out. And some ins, obviously, Ken Mamalo, he's back there on the wing. He's back from, I believe it's an injury. And James Tamo also returns. He is on the bench. Look, I am going to, you know what, I'm going to tip the Penrith Panthers here to win. And I will go with the Panthers by 10. Now, in terms of a anytime try scorer here, I will go with Isaac Tago, Robert Jennings, and I'm going to go with Taylor May to score. For the Tigers, I'm going to go with David Nofafaluma, and I'm going to go with big Ken Mamalo, and I will also go with Adam Dewey to score a try. So, Panthers to win here by 10 points. On to the second game now, and it is the Melbourne Storm taking on the Canberra Raiders. Now, this game has been played at Amy Park in Melbourne. It's a 4:05 p.m. Australian Eastern Time kickoff, so that'll be 5:06 for viewers in New Zealand. Now, the Melbourne Storm come into this game sitting in third spot on the ladder. Canberra Raiders in 11th spot. The betting prices have the Melbourne Storm here $1.25 favourites, and the Canberra Raiders are paying $4. Now, look, I am going to tip the Melbourne Storm here. Now, the big in for them is that Cameron Munster does return in the halves. So, yeah, look, he's a key player for them. And we see when Cameron Munster plays for the Storm often win their games. So, yeah, look, they've really missed him over the last couple of weeks. And they've also got Felice Kafusi. He's returning into the starting side in that second row position. Now, the Canberra Raiders have done well in Melbourne in the past. Their record actually isn't too bad there. So, you know, they are a chance in this one. But in saying that, Melbourne don't often lose 3 in a row. I know they don't often lose 2 in a row, and they lost last week. But, look, I'm expecting a huge response from the Melbourne Storm in this game. And, you know, despite no Brandon Smith and that, I still think they should really get up and get the win over the Raiders at home. Now, I don't think this is actually going to be a blowout. I'm going to go with the Melbourne Storm here by just 8 points. And in terms of anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with Ryan Pappenheisen, Nick Meaney. I'm also going to go with Justin Olam, and I will go with Cameron Munster to score. As for the Raiders, I'm going to go with Nick Kotrick, Matthew Tomoko, and I'm going to go with Jordan Rapana to score. So, Melbourne to win by 8 points. Now, moving on to the last game of the round, and it is the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, this game has been played at Accor Stadium, and it's saying here that it's a home game for the Bulldogs, which is very interesting. Now, at Sportsbet, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs are paying $3.50. And the South Sydney Rabbitohs, well, they're $1.31 favourites. And, the game kicks off at 6:15 p.m. So that'll be a 8:15 p.m. for viewers in New Zealand. Now, I am going to tip the South Sydney Rabbitohs here by a lot, actually. I think they will be far too strong for the Bulldogs. You know, Latrell Mitchell has really made a difference since being back in the side, and I'm going to expect him to Well, I expect him to have a big one in this game. And I will pick him to score a try anytime. And I'll go with Alex Johnston to score. And also, I'm going to go with Cody Walker. And my margin, well, look, I'm going to go with the Rabbitohs here by 30 points. 30 points over the Bulldogs in this one. Now, yeah, that wraps up my NRL Round 18 tips. Let me know who you're tipping for this week's games down in the YouTube comments section below. And also, as well, if you are a new viewer and you haven't already done so, please make sure you do, because it really does help the channel and it shows your support for the content that I upload. And yeah, look, it would be much appreciated if you do click that subscribe button. Click that red subscribe button down below. It's free as well, and look, it really doesn't cost a thing, and it really means the world if you do click that subscribe button, because it does help a lot. So, also as well, don't forget to like the video. Make sure you click the like button, click the thumbs up on the video, and click the bell so you don't miss a notification when I upload on the channel next, or when I do a live reaction or live stream. You will be notified, so make sure you do click the bell. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching this video, and appreciate all the support. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.